Hello everyone, welcome to Silverstone. We've had a massive failure with our intro, unfortunately, but we are here. A few weeks of waiting for GB3 to return, and finally the moment is now to go racing around a former RAF airbase. Welcome to Silverstone, and welcome to GB3 in 2025. So, you are looking right now at the moment at, well, our old timings returning, the ones that we had at round 1 at Silverstone. We're back at Silverstone again, but the GTs have just finished their race. It's all delayed because we were actually meant to be going motor racing right now for GB3, which is quite a shame because we've got to get to Freckers, so we've got basically no break, or I've got to become very inventive of having to go live on my laptop if we aren't able to. If this one gets delayed too much. Yeah, apologies from the intro. That basically just froze and did not go anywhere from there. So we have to apologize in case there were random audios coming in and of course you guys were stuck there. I tried my best to just sit back, let it run. I tried fixing it, tried to see whether we can actually continue it because, you know, we want the full intro. Unfortunately, today is not the day where we can have it. So yeah, apologies for that one. But, however, the show must go on. So I've brought you over here. The GTs, as I mentioned, they've finished their race. They're going to be having their ceremonies and all of the celebrations. But it means that we have a bit of time to build up to the GB3 race. So we're going to hand it over then to the international feed now, GB3, as they've been speaking to a couple of drivers heading into this weekend. It is time to now cross over and join them along with John Jackson, who is presenting this weekend. Piers Pryor, of course, over commentating on Formula 3 and the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. So it means that it's John Jackson on his own doing GB3, and also GB4's there this weekend as well. Of course, we don't cover that championship. Thank God we don't, or I would have quite the nightmare trying to call 4 championships as well, 4 extra championships here on JB Motorsports 2. So it's probably a good thing that we don't cover GB4 at the moment, but it's had some good racing earlier on, and I'm hoping to see what GB3 will be able to do. Can it also deliver in the exact same way is going to be the question. So many questions. I think we want to get some answers. We want to get GB3 going. So the preparation continues to take place around this circuit. So let's go over then and join the world feed here in round 13 as we continue the build up to race number 1 of the weekend.
Simple things like that it's great to have some teammates to help teach you that.
Yeah, all the processes as well. As a new face to our broadcast, let's find out a bit more about you. Who's your racing hero? Who made you want to be a racing driver?
I think it was Kimi Räikkönen, but I really got into it watching the 2021 Abu Dhabi in F1. I really enjoyed that race, but now my favorite F1 driver is Max Verstappen. He's really quick, aggressive. I just like his mental attitude as well.
When it comes to that 2021 Abu Dhabi race, what's your opinion on what happened?
I think that race was probably Lewis's to win, but I think throughout the whole course of the championship Max drove better, but it's one of those ones where it's on the edge. But I think that race Lewis should have won it.
The race director was in the wrong, right?
I think so.
Well, let's hope there's no calls like that here at Silverstone this weekend. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll chat after a race.
Yeah, hopefully be in the top 3, but yeah, keep working towards it. Thank you so much.
Of course, that was originally Reza Seaworth, and it wasn't Pat Hurtzenreuder. We'll hear from Pat Hurtzenreuder at another time. We're looking at the car at the moment of Rodrigo Gonzalez, one of 2 Mexican brothers making their debut this weekend in the GB3 Championship. Rodrigo driving this race weekend with Chris Dittman Racing. He starts 24th on the grid with his brother Patricio starting 21st for VRD Racing. So as we look at Rodrigo's car here, let's hear from our pole sitter. It's the championship leader, Alex Ninovich. Well, that's poles 4 and 5 of the season. Double pole here at Silverstone. You must be feeling over the moon.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have double pole at Silverstone. You know, last time we were out here, we didn't have the best of luck and we weren't super fast, but we've come back this time strong and obviously did the job in quali to come away with double pole. I can't be happy enough.
You've clearly learned a lot since the last time we were here at Silverstone. What are those things that maybe you put into practice this time around?
Just a whole lot of everything, really. The team's been putting a lot of effort in for this round, and so have I, and learning on what we did last time, just going over everything that we made little mistakes on and then try and fix those up, and it shows.
You obviously come into this weekend as the championship leader. You're going to want to end the weekend as the championship leader and I guess extend that lead.
Yeah, having double pole as well gives us a good opportunity to extend the gap, and yeah, we know we have the pace to do it, so I'll be looking to execute as well as I can in the race 1 and race 2 and hopefully grow the gap.
We've got 3 race wins for you this year, all of them outside of the United Kingdom, Spa, Zandvoort and the Hungaroring. You need to get one in the UK. What are you playing at?
Yeah, hopefully this weekend we can do something and we'll see.
A lot of people watching back home, I'm sure. I mean, they'll know Silverstone probably better than any of the tracks we race on here in the GB3 Championship this year. How many times do you think you've driven around this track virtually?
Actual laps, a couple thousand would have to be easily.
What's it like, I mean, like in reality compared to what most of us do and play a computer game?
The models these days are actually quite good, so you can actually replicate it quite well, but it's just the G-forces that you experience through Maggots, Beckett's and some other turns that you can't, and until you actually drive it and experience it, then you actually feel the car moving around and then you get the idea of how it feels. So pretty close, but not exact.
Obviously you can put a great lap together here at Silverstone with a double pole position. What part of the lap, if you get it wrong, really affects your times?
Mostly turn 1, our turn 1, and Maggots, Beckett's is the two main areas where you can give away a lap quite easily, and then the middle sector, as long as you hook it up quite well and don't make really any mistakes, you should be fine. So it's mostly the first sector.
Well, you're giving yourself the best chance to add to those 3 race wins here this weekend. Double pole position. We'll look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
Out to go onto the grid, so for the first time this weekend here at Silverstone in the GB3 Championship, let's go racing.
Well, we arrive at Silverstone, the location where we started our journey here in 2025. We continue it here in the GB3 Championship. It is time for round number 13 of the season. This is going to be really, really fascinating to see how it is all going to play out. A circuit that, of course, opened in 1950. The fastest lap belongs to Luke Browning, who, well, in Formula 2, when they raced here a few weeks ago, put on an absolute show. And now it's over back to these drivers, the GB3 drivers, to see what they can come up with. It's going to be fascinating to see how they get on. You've got 18 turns for the drivers to navigate in total. You've got 2 DRS turns, 3.6 miles in length. And one of the great motor racing circuits, I think it is fair to say, as well. It is a circuit that always delivers the goods. And it's a cloudy day here at Silverstone, but luckily not a wet day like this place has seen. We were mentioning the Formula 2 race, we were mentioning Luke Browning. That's exactly what he has faced a few times this season as well. So everyone's lining up on the grid for this race. We are delayed, as we mentioned. The marshal's just going there to make sure all the drivers are okay and all the drivers are good. What a race this could be in prospect. Riza Siworthan on pole position. Alex Ninovich, rather, on pole position next to Riza Siworthan. We'll run you through the full grid in a few moments' time. 20.4 right now is our air temperature at the moment at Silverstone Circuit. If you are synced up with us, we look down on the grid, ready to set these drivers off for their formation lap. And I don't think, luckily, it'll be that bad in terms of the waiting around. I think we'll be okay and we will make it to Frecker on time. If there is any red flags or delays, we will let you know in due course. As I think the final car... So the driver at the back, the last car in position, I think, has accidentally went to the wrong grid slot. But all is okay. Okay. I think we're going racing. Don't think they're holding a formation lap. Let's see. Green flags. And it is a formation lap. Okay, it is a formation lap. I think the green flag man at the back wrongly indicated that the race was about to begin. Apologies for that one. Apologies for that little miscommunication there. We are not getting underway as of yet. We still have a little bit of waiting to do. And have we left a driver on the grid, I wonder? I see a rear wing, so we may have left a car on the grid. Alex Ninovic is on pole position and he's next to Reza Siworthan. Deegan Fairclough, what a qualifying from him earlier, he's in third. Next to Gianmarco Pradell, but is this the weekend where Fairclough properly announces himself in GB3 after becoming the British F4 champion last year? Hoyinson Roda is next to Yuan Pusue, who has moved teams. He has gone to Hill Speed. In 7th, it's Keanu Al-Taheri. He's next to Noah Lyle, the driver who drives, of course, for JHR Developments. Will McIntyre is in 9th, and Michael Shin, we say and welcome him to the championship. He's in 10th. He goes to Hill Speed Racing. Enzo Tanvanikul is in 11th. Abby Pulling starts in 12th place on the grid for Rodin Motorsport. Hugo Schwarzer is in 13th, and Jack Sherwood will go from 14th on the grid for XL Motorsport. Next up we have Kai Darianani, two drivers who were also contenders earlier this year. Then it's Flynn Jacques in 16th place. And then next row on the grid, Jehan David. We welcome him to the championship and he starts alongside Lucas Flusha. So Flusha going from P18. August Rebus, we welcome him to the championship as well, along with Divi Nandan, who we've seen a couple of times in British F4 across this year. And GB4 as well. Patrico Gonzalez is in 21st, and then it's Bianca Bustamante in 22nd. Lots of new faces on the grid, and two more of them are Nicolas Stati, and then we have another Gonzalez, but Rodrigo Gonzalez. I think that is one of the cars left on the grid, and the marshal cannot move it. Think we'll be heading to a situation where this race can't get underway. It'll have to be an aborted start, I believe. They've had a lap, but they've not been able to move it, unfortunately. That will surely be an aborted start when they come around the final corner. I'm just going to quickly hand over to the world feed to see if we can understand who that is. So okay, so Johan David, the car who's involved. They're lining up in position and it looks like we will be going racing this time round. So no waiting around. It is time for GB3 rather, to go racing. Final cars are into position on the grid. They will get themselves into place. And after a few weeks away, GB3 is about to go racing once again. We're back at Silverstone. It's another round. Who is going to end up being victorious? Round 13 of the season. They're all in position. They will arrive in our camera shot down towards Cobb's corner. Is Ninovic going to come under threat? Yellows are being waved. Is this going to be a called off start? Start delayed. There's another issue for someone else this time. There's another car that's had an issue. And the marshals have to get to pushing. So the start's been delayed. And that's the race control message that you can see as well on the bottom there. So who is that being? Is that Noah Lyle who's being wheeled away there? I think it is. It is Noah Lyle being wheeled away. And that is a huge disappointment for him. A contender so many times. A contender earlier this year in Silverstone as well. But it does not appear like that Noah Lyle will get his chance to start on the grid and get this one going. Okay. That is 2 failures now that we've had, even before we got going. Oh, the angle of it, they've nearly smashed the car into the pit wall. You're going to have to push that one back. Because of course the gate's open. It gets pushed. And Noah Lyle's welcomed into the pit lane. So we thought we'd avoid this this process, but no. Another car with an issue. This time being Noah Lyle. So now it's back to waiting now to see what we're gonna do. The driver's on the grid. Additional green flag lap. Away we go for the formation lap once again. Right, let's head over to Lewis McGlade momentarily, as he will take us through this formation lap, just so I can quickly fix a few of our settings that are glitching.
How do you convince yourself to be ready to go again?
You know, it really is, while you're sitting there on the formation lap, you can't let yourself fall out of that rhythm. If you do let yourself fall out of that rhythm, then you do just need to focus on just getting your head down. But I think the main priority is just staying in the right mindset. This lap is going to be good, I think, particularly for the drivers on the inside line, so this even rows, because they'll have the warmer tires than just one single formation lap, and that'll allow them to utilize the dirty line a little bit more than what they could have been on the colder tires. So I think this is a bit of an advantage for the even cars now. But yeah, like you said, it's just a matter of getting yourself back into the rhythm, working that steering wheel, getting yourself, you know, pumped and ready to go again.
Yeah, those that'll be starting on the left-hand side when they're on the start-finish straight. You're absolutely right. One thing I am noticing, much like the initial formation lap here, they are not hanging around. They are firing around the circuit as fast as they can, just to, I guess, build as much temperature as possible.
Yeah, you know, it does depend, because at the end of the day, you're power braking, which is a form of warming up your tires where you turn and brake at the same time. That allows you to heat the tire from the inside of the tire using the brakes. And usually we do that in the GB4 cars. I know they do that in the GB3 cars as well. And that, you know, you're going slower on the straightaway because you're slamming the brakes. It doesn't really look like they're doing that here. It does just look like Alex Ninovich wants to get onto the grid.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I guess it's also one of those ones when you've had your formation up and you've already had that mental thing, like you said, as a racing driver, you want to just get on with it. So I guess going as fast as you can to get around the circuit, get into position. Also, I guess if you're better on colder tyres than some other drivers, maybe you also want to kind of get around as quick as possible so that they're all on, they've not had that window to warm up their tyres.
Absolutely, yeah. And the other thing I'm noticing too is because we've had such a fast formation lap and such a fast, even just fourth sector in general, not many people have been stopping and spinning their tires on the way to the grid. Definitely not Ninovich, definitely not Reza as well. So I think we'll see whether or not they're able to handle that initial bite off the line.
Thank you very much, Lewis McGlade and co. It is time to go racing. Some great analysis. Thank God we handed over to the World Feed for that formation lab, because it's great to be able to hear from someone who's been there, from someone who's done it. And here we go then. This is when the preparation begins. GB3 about to burst into action. Finally we can get going in this motor race. I think there'll be 23 minutes on the clock that, now that we've actually had an extra formation lap, so will be very interesting to see. Everyone's in place at the back. How is this race going to play out? Who's going to emerge victorious? Feels like an age since GB3 went racing, but it was only a few weeks ago. But here we go then. We're at Silverstone, at a former RAF airbase, and it is time for GB3, round number 13. We have 5 seconds as we await for the lights to tick on the gantry. 5 lights GB3 is underway and racing at Silverstone with a great launch for Alex Ninovic off pole position. He will maintain the lead into turn 1. Going through there is Pradell, and he's managed to get ahead of Deegan Fairclough. Can they all get through? A very, very interesting start to the motor race as we throw it down into Maggots and Beckett. It is Ninovic, then it is Reza Seaworthen, then it's Pradell. Heading backwards, it's Fairclough. Can they all get through? We've got a car running off the road there in the background through Maggots and Beckett as they try stand on the power. They're all over the road as we roar onto the Hangar Straight. Ninovic with a good advantage there over Seaworthen. Seaworthen will be looking in his mirrors. We've got a car on the grass as we try and debate this order. So that's McIntyre losing a couple of positions in the background there as we try and make our way through. That's late on the brakes. Keanu Al-Zahari sends one up the inside up against Hoinsenroder. So Al-Zahari going for it. He's got the cut back and it's going to be wheel to wheel as we now go down the start finish straight. Wild stuff there. They're still debating the order. They're still debating this one as they try and fight their way through. Does Al-Zahari get the chance? Around the outside he looks. Does the Alpine Junior? Big lock-up for Hoinsenroder. And now there's the chance for Al-Zahari to look round the outside. He's not the only one. You've got the Hill Speed drivers going on the attack as well. Another lap complete of this race. And another interesting race currently unfolding. 3 wide. That one surely will not work as we cut away from it momentarily, but that was 3 wide. Who's going to be ahead and around the outside? Trying to stand on the power. It'll be a drag race. Oh, we're all over the road. Enterton Van Eekul is going to try and get his way through as well in a few moments' time. This is ludicrous. Intercop's corner. Pulling's with the inside line. Abby Pulling trying to fight her way by. And she's got the inside. She makes her rival. She basically scares her rival off the road. Back down. Through Maggots and Beckett. I think there's a bit of damage there for... Well, not damage, but a nose cone. Yeah, nose cone. So a bit of a damage there for Enzo Tan Van Eekul, who's definitely had some sort of a shunt. Around the outside goes Pradell, or at least he attempts to, as he tries to get past Reza Seaworthen. Ninovic is pulling up further up the road. It's getting really, really tight now. Into the braking zone. That's brave stuff from Abby Pulling. Outside line becomes the inside line. Pulling trying to get past Enterton Van Eekul, who is struggling now. Pulling going onto the Hamilton Straight where she had her incident, of course, in the race 3 of Silverstone that we've already had earlier this year. She looked to have some good pace there, but it all fell apart in that race. Now Pulling's having to defend. Oh, big lock up. Do we make the corner? We will. And that is dramatic stuff as they fight their way by. That Shin losing out. Shin trying to make an overtake, loses out instead. Flusha's in the mix. Lucas Flusha in the mix. Further back. Oh my word, they're 3 wide again. Heading down into Brooklands. And they next arrive in our picture. Shin losing places. And around the outside there, Hugo Schwarzer makes the pass. Nice stuff around the outside from Hugo. And that was a huge move for him. An important pass to get by. Intercop's corner we go again. Lucas Flusha wheel to wheel with Jack Sherwood. And there's nothing between them. Flusha runs out wide. Still neck and neck. Cars everywhere. 3 wide into Maggots and Beckett. Does not work. And they still manage to get through. This is fabulous racing. They threw it in there. They did not know how that was going to end. But they were prepared to wait and find out. Luckily, in this case, it's still them all pointing in a straight line. Wow, what a start. This is much more chaotic than what we had when we arrived here for round 1. Everyone was learning the car. We were doing all of those procedures back then. No more car learning now. All eyes, all focus, all attention to see what you've got underneath you. They make their way by. It's turning out to be quite the fascinating GB3 race. GB3 so many times proving to be the series to be in for so many reasons. Due to the car that they've got this year, which is really encouraging, and well, the entry list to start the year was not what we would have wanted to see in this series. We just had a race control message come in. So the duration has been reduced by 1 lap. We've gone down to 23 minutes as we expected. Fastest lap for Alex Ninovic. DRS for Gianmarco Pradell. Does Pradell get the sniff? Does Pradell get the chance to send it up the inside? That's a late lunge in the battle for second place. And when they're next in our shot, it was still wheel to wheel between them. Seaworthen having to defend up the inside. Pradell with the dummy. And the late lunge to take second place. And Seaworthen's out wide. Deegan Fairclough's roaring by on the both of them. He's not going to go around the outside, is he? This is brilliant from Deegan Fairclough. He's managed to get past 2 cars. The traction that he got was unbelievable. Can he complete it now into Abbey Corner? It's neck and neck in this battle. Fairclough risking it, trying to properly announce himself in GB3 2025 after winning British F4 last year. And Pradell gets his elbows out. Fairclough doesn't want to give it up. Fairclough sells the dummy. It's basically Pradell getting what he did to Seaworthen, but it's Fairclough doing the move this time. And now we roll onto the hanger straight. And now Seaworthen's got the chance. 3 cars, not separated by anything. This is like 2022 with the Formula 1 battle that we had here. We're 3 wide into Brooklands. This one's not going to end well. And this contact, Seaworthen's lost his front wing. And that was always going to happen when we went 3 wide into Brooklands. And now Al Zahari's got through around the outside. And Seaworthen loses a chance on a podium. Unbelievable stuff. That was wild. Hoynes and Roda going for it. Apologies for the volume in this commentary box. I could not believe what I saw. And we're now side by side through Cobb's Corner. Hoynes and Roda going for it. Wow. Sorry for the volume in this box. That was unbelievable stuff. And now we're wheel to wheel through Maggots and Beckett's. And Hoynes and Roda just ahead of McIntyre. This is GB3 and then some. Abby Pulling's going for it. She's nearly on the grass in the background. Pulling's nearly on the grass. Can Abby Pulling make some spectacular overtakes? Meanwhile, McIntyre's got through. McIntyre gets past Hoynes and Roda, but look to Pulling further back. Look to Abby Pulling. Was she able to get by and take the position? Wait for it. Just going to go back through. She's still side by side. She is still side by side. Ton Van Eekle, the Red Bull Jr., doing his best to defend for the moment. And he is going to do it. He is going to defend the place. But Pulling's going to get the chance once more. Might be the race of the year in this way for GB3. I don't think I've covered this intense racing. Definitely battle of the year. Honestly. I was asked this question, which is my favourite out of Freca GB3 Italian F4. I did have to say Freca at the time, but I mean, honestly, Freca hasn't delivered me this year the absolute banger where you're like, what? This might just be doing that. But it's also killing my voice, so we're not going to be friends for any longer. You do realise this is like my biggest weekend in terms of just with how much is on. Let me chill. Let me calm down, guys. That's probably the loudest I may have got in this GB3 box this year, to be fair. So yeah, apologies for the volume in this commentary box at the moment. You should never have to apologise for being energetic about motor racing, but wow. Sorry, I just could not believe what I saw. Because, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Pradell first of all sells the dummy on Siworthan, sends it up the inside. Siworthan's out wide, and then out of nowhere, Fairclough not only gets past Siworthan, that's normal, but he gets the traction to go round the outside of Pradell very nearly and complete one of the great overtakes, possibly the overtake of the year had he done it. And then you're like, what on earth did we just see? Right now, Abby Pulling's defending. So she couldn't attack Tarn Van Eekel, and around the outside goes Kai Darianani. What a move by Kai! He's drove all the way around the outside, and Pulling now loses a position. Flush is waiting to capitalise as well. This is brilliant stuff. In the tail end of the top 10. This is why we love GB3 racing. We've had to wait for it this year quite a bit. It's now delivering the goods, is GB3. One of the great. Oh, wheel to wheel. Keanu Al-Zahari on the grass. Wheel to wheel he goes with Deegan Fairclough, and the inside line will work for Al-Zahari, and he will take the position with ease. But Fairclough will get the chance to fight back, heading down towards Copse Corner. Who's going to be ahead between these two drivers? It's close, but it is Al-Zahari who is ahead of Fairclough. This, the battle for the final spot on the podium. And some battle as well for the final spot on the podium, let me just add. Back down the hanger straight. Siworthan disappointed in the pit lane. But my word, I have to say, GB3 has not been like this all year. And it's come alive. That is why you tune into this race. I know it's happening at the same time as Formula 1, but if you are covering it, then you have to be here. My word. Oh, Piers Pryor. He's missing quite a bit, isn't he? He is missing quite a lot, is Piers Pryor. He's missing a race and a half, but to be fair, he's been treated to some amazing Formula 3 and Porsche Super Cup, which has also been quite action-packed as well. Al-Zahari's really on it today, I have to say. He's on the back now. He's on the back of Pradell. Some great battling. We've got lap by lap analysis. Al-Zahari, quicker lap 4, quicker lap 5, quicker lap 6. Lap 7's about to come our way. And I mean, considering how close he is, I don't even need the answer. I'd assume that he is just going even quicker. Into Copse Corner. Here's the chance for Al-Zahari. It'll be through Maggots and Beckett. It'll be down Hanger Straight and into Stowe. That's what it'll need to be. You rotate your way through, turn left, turn right, turn left, turn right. Put your foot to the floor. Boot it out. Off Chapel Curve. See what throttle you've got. See what traction you've got. The traction, not enough for Al-Zahari to get past Pradell at the moment. We've got 2 races coming up tomorrow, by the way, for GB3. We've got a recorded race for race 2. And we'll be live for race number 3. It's all going to be action-packed. We've got Al-Zahari. We've got the lap 7 analysis. Here we go. And, I mean, would you be surprised to know, everybody? He was quicker on lap number 7. So he was quicker indeed. Right, okay. You can tell. You can tell we're on that phase where we're waiting for Al Zahari to overtake. Because we're just trying to take a deep breath after what we saw earlier. And here we go. Pradelle defends. Now Al Zahari's like, okay, yeah, you guys keep yapping on. It's time for me to shut you up now with some good overtaking. But yeah, my voice will be starting to go soon, I can imagine. I've still got 2 Imola races to commentate, by the way. Frecker and also the GB3, and I'm also doing something else later today as well. So I've got a lot more commentary to do. I don't even know I don't even know if we've reached halfway yet. Okay, down the hangar straight. This could be a chance for Al Zahari. Is this the moment for the Alpine Junior to go on by? Getting closer, and forcing the defensive shape from Pradelle. Al Zahari's got the momentum, and Pradelle comes over to give him the squeeze. Now, here we go, down to rail corner. Al Zahari places the car on the outside, trying to get the cutback, trying to see whether the better line is possible. We stand on the power, onto Hamilton Straight. And it's a gap that's closing in. We're about to head on to the penultimate lap. It is required right now for Al Zahari to get on by, or Fairclough could be invited into this battle, and Fairclough is involved in the battle. This could get really, really close. Onto the hangar straight. Into the braking zone. It's time to begin another lap. Wellington, sir, I should say, rather. This is what happens when you commentate on 3 different circuits, which in real life, well, like, I mean, this is real life, but you get what I mean, like, actually, if you were doing it for the world feed, you wouldn't be able to do this, unless you were doing it all, like, for example, remotely. Because you wouldn't be commentating on 3 different circuits on a weekend. It messes with your brain, and then we've just come off Spa, which is why I keep saying stuff like chemistry and stuff. Because my brain goes, oh yeah, this is an overtaking opportunity. Oh yeah, chemistry. Oh, hold on, we're not at Spa. Oh, we're at Silverstone. That type of thing. That logic. Anyway, deep breath. I'm happy that I got the commentary right, absolutely. Because, you know, as you can tell, when you're doing so much on a weekend, like this weekend is, as I mentioned, it's the most I'm doing on a weekend all year. Like, it's my busiest one because I've got literally everything I cover on. And yet, I'm not exaggerating that everything I cover, that I'm assigned to, that I assign myself to, coming into this year, that I'm like a permanent commentator for, is on this week. So it's like, whoo, deep breath. Penultimate lap of the race, about to go on to the final lap of the race. Trying to set the move up is going to be Al Zahari. Can he do something special? He'll be told on the radio that we're about to go on to the last lap, that you have to get on with it, and if you don't, you will leave yourself vulnerable. Into braking zone. Off Brooklands we go. Through Woodcote. Down the old start finish straight. We're on the final lap of the race here in GB3. The checkered flag will be waved next time by. So it is over to you, Keanu Al Zahari. Over to you, Deegan Fairclough, to try and put Pradelle under some pressure for second place. It was a brilliant move by Al Zahari to get ahead of Fairclough. Now can he produce something similar as he tries to get ahead of Pradelle and spoil the road in Motorsport 1 and 2 that they have at the moment? It has been a domination from lights out so far, and it will be to checkered flag for Ninovic, who's got a 5.3 second advantage. You've got Battles further back as well. Pulling is trying to defend. She's in 11th position, so she's actually dropped down a couple of places, and you've now got Shin on debut trying to attack and see whether there's a chance for him to make the overtake. It doesn't look like Al Tahiri's being able to do anything at the moment. Does Pulling maybe make the move on Flusha instead? Pulling wants to make a move of herself. And she tries to go around the outside. And for the moment, Flusha has the answer. Does Pulling send it? She can't at the moment. What about traction? Down Hamilton Straight we go now. And here's going to be the chance. It'll have to be inventive. It'll have to be down the Wellington Straight if she is to get by. But now, here we go. Al Tahiri has to do it. It is now or never. If he wants to take second place on the road, Fairclough will only be getting promoted to the podium if there is any errors from this point onwards. Arriving down to Brooklands, Al Tahiri's not close enough. No one is close enough to Alex Nidovic. 5.3 seconds. It's been a domination by championship leader, who extends his championship lead by winning at Silverstone. He takes race 1 of the weekend. Pradell's in second place. Great defensive work from him as he kept Al Tahiri behind, and Deegan Fairclough. A first proper weekend of announcement for him after a struggling year so far. The British F4 champion shows why he is the British F4 champion from last year. He's in 4th, McIntyre in 5th, and it's so close to the line. But Shin is ahead of Pulling, so Shin made the move on the last lap. Shin made the move on the last lap somewhere, and it was a switch. It was a switch between those two drivers. Wild stuff from lights out to checkered flag, but Alex Nidovic can call himself the race winner once again. Superb stuff by him. He'll be delighted, and he'll be savouring this one as well. Okay, well, we'll confirm the full results for you now. And then we'll go off air because we have to, of course, get over to Fracas. Alex Nidovic ended as the winner. It was Pradell in second place, Al Tahiri third, then Fairclough, McIntyre, Hoyntson-Roda, and then Yuan Pusue, Tarn Van Eekel, Kai Darianani, and Lucas Flusha. We remind you that these results are provisional, and anything can change with penalties. Fastest lap went to Alex Nidovic, P11 went to Shin, who got past Abby Pulling on the last lap, and then it was Raber, Schwarzer, Bustamante, Sherwood, and then Jehan David, Flynn Jackers, Divi Nandan, Rodrigo Gonzalez was in 20th. And then we found ourselves at the back with Stati, Seaworthen, who had damage, and then Gonzalez and Noah Lyle. Unfortunately, could not make the race start. And that is it. We thank you for joining us here in the GB3 Championship. We'll be back for Race 2 recorded, but Race 3 live tomorrow to wrap out a brilliant weekend at Silverstone. We'll see you tomorrow for all of the action. Goodbye.